Emma? Yeah, it's time for her to go. This new Emma is nothing like the one we all loved. She's just obnoxious at this point. Honestly, why isn't Tracy out there threatening to unleash her lawyers on Willow? Why isn't she telling Jason and Sunny she's got it covered? And seriously, where's Diane when we need her? Now, let's talk about Jason. The moment he finally chooses his family over Sunny and Carly, that was a shocker, wasn't it? I mean, who would have thought Jason would pick them over him? Jane deserves an Emmy nom for her scenes today, because watching Jason stand up for his family was like a breath of fresh air. We might actually be getting Jason Quartermain back, and honestly, isn't it about time? Oh, Tracy! I can't believe I have to explain this to the dawn of the Eastern Seaboard, but here we are. Tracy is a Quartermain through and through, and she's not about to let go of those kids anytime soon. Everything she said to Sunny, not a single word was a lie, but unfortunately, it didn't help her take back Michael from Willow's iron grip. Still, when Jason showed up, Tracy did loosen her grip, and she stood there, locking eyes with him. That moment, perfection. She touched his cheek, looked him dead in the eyes, and said, "For once, don't choose Sunny, and you know what?" Tears in Jason's eyes. He actually stood with Tracy. Who saw that coming? As for Sunny, well, it's obvious that he's in crisis mode again. But maybe, just maybe, his medication kicked in. I'm still betting he drove himself to the hospital, and I'm just waiting for something to go horribly wrong on that drive. But the real kicker, Jason is finally waking up to the fact that family actually matters more than Sunny's way of life. That scene with him and Tracy? Brilliant. And when Jason looked at Drew and Willow at the hospital, you could practically see the gears turning. I wouldn't be shocked if he thought, you know what? It wouldn't be the worst thing if Drew and Willow were just gone. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Messy Syrup. It's me, Abby, here. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Keep watching, so let's dive into today's video. Can someone please tell Brad to figure out that he and Sasha are not actually related? It's not rocket science. Seriously, Cody and Sasha should be together, end of story. But instead, we get this mess. And Jason's taking a guilt trip over it all, because why wouldn't he? Tracy can't stand Jason, and let's be real, she has zero legal claim to those kids. But sure, let's let her play the villain here. I mean, as much as I can't stand Willow and Drew, the only other option is for Carly and Sunny to sit this one out, which is basically the worst possible outcome. Do the writers even know what's real anymore? Apparently not. And Lucky, wow, look at him go. He actually said something sweet to Elizabeth for a change, calling her strong and resilient. Maybe there's hope for him after all, but I'm not holding my breath. Tracy's got a plan to take Drew down. Surprise, surprise, and Jason? Well, I guess he agreed to this whole mess because he doesn't always have to be Sunny and Carly's yes man. The whole thing with Willow and Drew? Yeah, it was a cheat fest, but people cheat all the time. Does that mean Willow should lose her kids over it? Nope, the courts haven't ruled her an unfit parent. Let's not act like cheating automatically means you're a monster. And then there's Emma. Yikes. Why did they make her such a brat? Can we get a redo on that one? As for Drew, aka Uncle Whiskers, he really needs to mind his business and keep his opinions to himself. I can't even think about something happening to Sunny, and I'm sure as heck not ready for it. Tracy might hate Drew, but she loves Michael, and that makes her the perfect person to pull the rug out from under Drew and Willow. She needs to release that video, pronto. Oh, and don't get me started on that Leela ring Willow's wearing. Tracy should take it back, because, newsflash, you don't get to wear it if you've been cheating on Michael. That's just called basic decency. Wait until Willow finds out about Nina and Drew's little rendezvous behind her back. That's gonna be fun to watch. And as for Elizabeth and Lucky, I still can't help but root for them to get back together. Also, I'm still not buying the whole Sasha is Robert's daughter thing. If Holly didn't tamper with that DNA test, I'll eat my hat. There's no way that's the real deal. Where to even start? First of all, Jason actually shocked me. He said no to Sunny and sided with Tracy. Someone please tell me it's time to retire these mob storylines. Sunny's practically on his way out, and now Jason might not even want to work for him anymore. But on the bright side, Anna's line to Joss was gold. Basically, sweetheart, you told him which of his tracks he needs to cover. Joss really needs to let Anna handle Cyrus, though. He's a criminal mastermind who needs to be behind bars. But instead, Joss will probably end up as his next target. Or worse, he'll just go after another patient at the hospital. And oh, here's a thought. Why has no one called Diane about Michael's medical proxy? Did his legal separation with Willow somehow nullify it? Just a small detail, right? Now about Emma. What in the world happened to her? She used to be this sweet, grounded teen, and now she's a full-blown brat. The transformation is so jarring, it's like watching a different character entirely. How did we go from the Emma we knew to this snarky punk? And the writers are getting awards for this? Honestly, I can't wrap my head around it. I'm really hoping we get some explanation for this sudden shift in Emma's personality. Until then, though, it's pretty tough to watch. She used to be one of my favorites. What in the world happened? And then there's Cody. Oh, Cody. As soon as he went running to Brad to place that bet through Selena, I just knew it was a terrible idea. Bad move, Cody. Now he's betting it all to try to buy Serenity, and it's a disaster in the making. Poor Kai, though, this could ruin his football career, and Cody's dream just went up in smoke. As for Emma, it's high time she loses the attitude and learns some respect, especially for Felicia. Maybe it's time she got a job or did some volunteer work. Let's see some responsibility from her. Yes, remember when Jason and Drew swapped memories? Now it feels like their moral compass, sense of self, and personalities got switched up too. Maybe it's something in the water, or a sinister leftover from that whole ice disaster 40 years ago. Who knows? It's all starting to feel a little too familiar. But hey, Jason, you've come a long way, huh? Time to officially step into your role as the patriarch of the Quartermains. Gone are the days of being that annoying, reckless brat from 25 years ago. Now you've got Monica, your loving mother, by your side. Michael, the nephew you raised like a son, standing beside you. Even Tracy, who's finally showing some love, weirdly enough. Oh, and look at you, finally escaping the black hole that is Sunny and Carly. Sure, we're not getting the doctor back, but maybe, just maybe, we'll get the real Jason Quartermain back. You know, the one who actually gives a damn about the family name. Go show your twin how it's done. Here's the kicker. Jason has actually said no to Sunny and Carly before. Yes, Jason can think for himself. Shocking, right? He's not just a puppet with no thoughts or agency. Right now, he's thinking about the bigger picture, which happens to include his mother. He's acting like a grown-up for once, which doesn't mean he's ready to take over the Quartermain throne. But it does mean he's doing what's best for Monica, and that means making sure the kids stay with her. And don't underestimate Tracy's pull either. You think Jason hasn't been listening? He probably sees what Tracy sees, that Willow and Drew aren't going to honor their deal if they get their hands on the kids. Jason's choosing to be the mature one here, and that's a big deal. Remember, he raised Michael as a baby, and has been clear he won't fight that battle for Michael. But when it comes to Tracy pulling the Monica card, forget it. Jason's always going to be loyal to his mom, and that's something you can count on. I've been reflecting on that whole confrontation between Joss and Willow from a few days ago, and in hindsight, Willow somehow manages to come off even worse than I originally thought. Let's start with the sheer audacity of Willow expecting Joss to understand her cheating on Michael. I mean, sure, technically cheating is cheating, but comparing cheating on a boyfriend in your early 20s to cheating on your husband, who also happens to be the father of your kids, with his uncle? That's not just out of touch with reality. It's like a whole new dimension of delusion. Also, let's not forget Joss ended things with Cam before any of that went down. She didn't try to keep things going. But hey, logic is clearly not Willow's strong suit. And the drama doesn't stop there. Willow and Nina seem to think Willow is the one who deserves all the sympathy. Let's ignore the fact that Michael is Joss's brother, and they're incredibly close, while Willow, who hasn't given Michael a second thought since the truth came out, is busy having sex with Drew while he's still hurting. How could we possibly be so heartless as to see the obvious double standard here? What really makes this whole thing even worse, though, is the fact that Willow actually had the gall to throw Joss's situation with Dex and Cam in her face to justify her own actions. Let's not forget that Joss just lost Dex, but Willow's apparently too wrapped up in her own misery to have even a tiny bit of empathy. And then there's Nina, bless her heart, saying Joss attacks people with no empathy. Really? Because neither Willow nor Nina seem to show much empathy for the fact that Michael's Joss's brother or that Joss had just lost the love of her life. Funny how that part gets conveniently ignored. But of course, none of that matters to Willow. To this day, neither she nor Drew have bothered to apologize to Michael for their cheating. In his own family's home, no less. They're too busy playing the victim and deflecting any responsibility. I mean, Willow's been too busy to show even a scrap of remorse for what she's done. The cherry on top? After the video aired at the Q's, the first thing Willow does is march over to Michael and tear into him for one, taking the video, and two, not telling her he'd known for weeks. Somehow, this made Michael the dishonest one. But here's the kicker. Willow's known for weeks too, and hasn't said a word about her own betrayal. How is that Michael's fault again? Talk about the pot calling the kettle black. And as for Joss, nothing's changed. Willow sticks to her usual playbook, play the victim, and lash out at anyone who dares to call her out. Joss, Sasha, Carly, pretty much anyone who doesn't worship her. So much for sweet, compassionate Nurse Willow. This is the same woman who had no qualms about using Michael's health proxy as a bargaining chip, remember? First, she steals drugs from the hospital to treat Jason. Don't worry, Spinelli covered for her. And now this. Truly, the moral high ground looks great on her. Is it just me, or is General Hospital reaching peak drama for the first time in forever? I mean, I've always believed a soap is at its best when the core characters are at each other's throats. But for so long it's felt like the show was bogged down by some faceless, big bad stirring up trouble. Finally, we've got the real heart of the show. Old school conflicts and messy relationships, back in full force. Carly, Nina, and Sunny? Sure, they've been a thing, but now we're seeing some real fireworks. The Carly-Nina or Sunny drama finally has some heat, and let's be honest, it was long overdue. Plus, the legendary Corinthos or Quartermain feud is back in action. And let's talk about that moment. Carly's going to flip when she finds out Nina and Drew have been, shall we say, getting cozy. I mean, how could she not? I'm sure she's going to blow that up in spectacular fashion. I can't wait. Even Sasha, sweet little Sasha, is jumping into the fray. Who knew? Honestly, if we have to keep Carson at the center of everything, this is the way to do it. And get this, Jason agreed with Tracy about Sunny, right in front of him. If that's not peak GH, I don't know what is. This is the most dramatic the show's been in years. Look, I know some of you are going to totally disagree with me, but I just can't wrap my head around Sasha's logic here. She wants to keep her baby a secret from its family because she's worried about the danger Sunny brings and the toxicity of the Qs, right? Fair enough, I guess. But then she turns around and is all for Wiley and Amelia not being with their own mother? Make it make sense. I do like Sasha, okay? I was rooting for her to get back with Michael. I totally get why she's pissed. Honestly, I'd be livid too. She sacrificed her relationship with Michael, only for Willow to pull the ultimate betrayal. But now we're talking about the kids. The kids? Let's be real. The Qs could easily pull the same stunt on her. They could brand her unfit, call her a drug addict, maybe even toss in con artist for good measure. But Sasha's all in on letting the Qs keep her baby siblings away from their own mother. That's where I'm stuck. How do you reconcile that? The thing is, Willow has turned into a completely different person, unrecognizable, and so has her version of Michael. She's living in some fantasy world, wrecking everything in her path. Sasha isn't trying to destroy anyone. She was there for Willow. She was there for Michael. The affair? It didn't happen until after the cheating. A then B, and let's be real, Sasha's team Michael, no question. The Qs might not recognize that, but trust me, they'll figure it out. Willow, in case anyone missed it, is actually committing a crime right now, and the congressman is just sitting there, playing the role of an accessory. So let's break this down. Willow is blatantly violating the law, as well as her legal responsibility as Michael's medical proxy. In the real world, she'd be facing a lawsuit so fast, she'd be dizzy. It's almost laughable. Carly, at this point, should just call Diane, because, spoiler alert, Willow would be stripped of that proxy status in a heartbeat. Oh, and let's not forget the little gem Willow dropped in front of the doctors. She actually had the audacity to say, right there, that Michael can see her when she gets her kids back. Brilliant move, Willow, because that's definitely not going to be used against her in the custody hearing. I mean, who doesn't want to use a statement like that in court, right? Drew and Willow. All right, quick rant. Sorry to anyone who thinks differently, but I seriously need to vent about this. I can't even look at Drew without wanting to throw something. The guy's a walking nightmare, manipulative, pervy, controlling, and let's not even start on how physically disheveled he is. It's like he's trying to set a new low bar for human decency. I used to like him, but whatever this current storyline is, I want to scream, and don't even get me started on Willow. Her sense of self-entitlement is off the charts, and it's driving me insane. Both of them are showing their true, ugly sides, and I am so over it. Honestly, I'm hoping Willow gets some serious consequences for using child custody as a pawn in Michael's life, and Drew? I just want him booted out of his congressman role like yesterday. Ugh. Drew is basically emotionally holding Willow hostage at this point. He's controlling her every move, her every decision. This is textbook behavior for manipulators, predators, and abusers. So Michael and Willow supposedly got married, but wait, Willow didn't even have a birth certificate. So here's a thought. Why not just use that little detail to void their marriage? I mean, it's not like she was officially documented, right? That could totally protect Michael's assets from Willow and Drew. But of course, they're not going to do that, because, hey, why make sense when you can drag out a ridiculously convoluted storyline? Maybe they're doing this to make Cameron Matheson look good, but honestly, who knew that former Ryan Lavery could be so completely unlikable since he became Drew Kane or Tew? And as for Wiley's adoption papers, I'd be looking at those too, if Neil is really, truly, completely gone. That's the one big hole in their story, isn't it? Now, the only real fight left would be for Amelia, and let's be real, Willow has proven she's unfit. She's being sold as this perfect mother, but let's not forget her only job was to mother, and she was pretty much taken care of by everyone else. But hey, that's a whole different conversation. She's not a great mother, no matter how the writers try to spin it. We've always seen Michael doing the heavy lifting with the kids. Willow would occasionally pop in, but motherhood? Not exactly her top priority, especially after her little affair with Drew began. In fact, now she's totally uprooting her kids' lives without a second thought, all while proving to be incredibly impressionable and easily manipulated. Her entire personality has done a 180. That's got to be documented, right? A psychiatric evaluation by a therapist, someone she's had to see before, could show her mental state before and after. We're talking possible borderline personality disorder, PTSD, or even signs of brainwashing. Because let's be honest, Drew, whether he's Drew or not, has a bizarre hold on her, just like Nina did with Mike/Sunny. Yet here we are, still not calling it what it is, Stockholm Syndrome. They're somehow still trying to paint Drew as the victim in all this, which is just absurd. It's like the writers are actively trying to make everything as weird as possible. Drop your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you agree or disagree? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more updates. Your opinions matter, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you.